Hey, what's up guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacules, and I know that you're not used to seeing me so frequently here on the YouTube channel,
but it's good to be back.
Now, I've been receiving a ton of comments on the previous two videos that I've uploaded this week saying, would you please, for the love of God, review something that's affordable? Okay. I will admit that a lot of the technology that I review on this channel is astronomically expensive and even prohibitive to buy by what you would consider the average person. But guys, you have to understand,
these companies send me this stuff.
I mean, I literally send them an email and say, can I review this product? And they're like, sure. But today we're gonna be reviewing something that a company did not send me to review. And it's something that is critically important to my daily operations, something that I use absolutely every day, and it costs around $10. Now, you've probably already guessed from the title, it's a fan. Now, this little fan right here is an Arctic USB fan. Now, at first glance, it doesn't look like anything particularly special, right? It spins, and it plugs into a USB port, and it has a little bendy articulating arm so that you can point it in any direction and it'll presumably stay there.
And I can confirm it actually does.
Now, the reason that this fan is so important is what I'm gonna show you guys in this video today. I have 14 of these fans currently and plans to buy a whole lot more because
they're a lot more useful than you might think.
Oh, I should also mention that today's video is sponsored by me. That's right, guys. I have a merchandise store with tons of shirts. I've got mugs. I've got stickers.
You know, the same old usual crap that every YouTuber's throwing at you.
So if you guys wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you'd head over to my merchandise store at shop.barnerd.com. It'll also be down in the video description, if I remember. All right, now that we got that shillmanship out of the way, why don't we talk a little bit more about the fan? Now, let me tell you the story about how I came by this fan. I have a friend, his name is Adam. You guys may have heard of him. He goes by Kevlar Condom.
You heard me right.
The nickname I give him is Iron Prophylactic. But anywho, he is the one that told me about these fans because I had components that were overheating. Mainly a Linksys router that would lock up like every literally couple of hours. He had told me that he used these little Arctic fans. They're on, Amazon, and I've got my affiliate link down in the video description if you guys would like to use it and help the channel when you purchase these fans. But anyways, he told me that these little fans are used to cool his entertainment center. Like, he has them plugged into USB ports cooling his amps for his huge stereo system, and he has it plugged in cooling off his network equipment. Well, the nice thing is every single device nowadays seems to have a USB port on it, and if it doesn't have a USB port, you can pretty much plug in a wall wart. But USB power is incredibly easy to come by nowadays, so it actually makes this really versatile. Well, sure enough, I bit and I bought a couple of them, and I ended up putting them on my router in the closet downstairs. Now, I went ahead and angled the fans so that they were pointing into the vents on the top of the device, and sure enough, it stopped locking up. Now, since I originally hooked up the fans, I've replaced the router with something that was much faster, and I went ahead and put the fans on that router, and I haven't experienced a single lockup yet, and it's in a small closet where it gets very hot. Just having a little bit of airflow over it makes all the difference. So after that, I got thinking. I was like, what else could I use these little fans for? Well, it turns out I also have a Logitech Z5500 sound system, which is actually pretty old. But to this day, as far as I know, they haven't made a more powerful stereo for a PC. This is for a specific PC application with shielded speakers. Well, I also hook up 2 Klipsch speakers. Now, by doing this, I actually put more strain on the amplifier, which is already prone to failure because of heat. So what I went ahead and did was plugged one of these little bad boys into a wall wart right next to the amplifier under my desk so that it's blowing air over the passively cooled fins on the amplifier. Now, I figured, why stop there? I went ahead and bought a bunch more fans, and I put one on the actual control unit that I have on my desk for the Z5500 sound system and to cool my Yamaha MG10XU mixer board. All right, at this point, I'm pretty addicted because these things are rather cheap. They're dead silent. Here, take a listen. All right, so that's blowing on it. You probably hear a little air. You can only hear it when you get it about an inch and a half away from your ears. Then you hear a very slight hum, but at this distance, I can't hear it running at all. It's dead silent. So it's an incredibly useful breeze. Now, you're probably wondering, how is the fan on right now? Well, I've just got it plugged into a USB battery pack. Now, this particular little guy right here just has an 18650 lithium-ion cell in it. It's nothing fancy, but it's enough to run this fan through my entire live stream that I do daily over on Twitch. It's like 3 hours long sometimes, and it gets through the entire show when it's topped off. So it doesn't use a lot of power.
Plus, come on, hand fan.
Oh, that feels so good. As a fat person, I run pretty hot, so it's nice having a fan put a little breeze on you.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, so what else can I use these little guys for? Well, I recently did a video on color calibration of my big screens behind me. They're 50-inch Samsung 4K screens, and they get really hot. As a matter of fact, they heat up this room so much, in fact, I have to have a 15,000 BTU air conditioner running in here pretty much year-round to keep the temperature down at about 68 degrees.
Us fat people don't like heat too much, guys.
However, a lot of you noticed in my last video that I've lost quite a bit of weight. To be precise, I've lost about 44 pounds. Yes. Basically doing the keto diet, but I don't really talk about that too much here on the channel. I have a Patreon for that. If you guys are interested more in what goes on behind the scenes and in my actual life, you can join my Patreon for $1 a month. Or you can just stay here and watch the technology and tutorials and general shenanigans.
There's a lot of them.
So anywho, these screens behind me get incredibly hot. Well, the nice thing is they happen to have a USB port on the back. So what do?
Buy a bunch more of these fans.
I literally have piles of these fans distributed throughout the entire house. Anything that I think that gets hot, I just stick a fan on it. Now, I figured out that by deploying these coolers on the monitors, it gave just enough airflow along the wall that it cooled the screens down and it actually brought up the brightness. I measured it using a device that measures the brightness and contrast of the screen, and lo and behold, it brought the brightness back up after the screen has been heated for like 45 minutes. Now, granted, it took 3 of these, one on each monitor, to create a tunnel of air moving behind it along the wall to make a big difference. So the other place where these came in handy was in my bedroom. It's where I watch most of my movies and entertainment. I have a 74-inch Samsung QLED screen in there. I also have a surround sound receiver that gets incredibly hot, and of course, it's passively cooled, because whenever it's anything that's home entertainment based, they don't want it to make any noise, right? They want it to be absolutely whisper silent. So they just put big grates on the top for the heat to escape. But unfortunately, I have it in a little entertainment center, and the heat really doesn't have a lot of places to go. So it basically builds up in there like a huge cloud and then forces its way out and up along the wall. But by that time, it'll start locking up, and I notice sometimes the sound will just turn off. Well, I figured it was probably heat related, so lo and behold, I stuck one of these little fans on it because it's got USB ports on it. I just have a little airflow going up in and over the receiver. It's not even that much, but it was enough to make all the difference, and now the amplifier doesn't overheat anymore. I also would like to mention at this point that I didn't just go buy this off Amazon to do a cheap review. As a matter of fact, I never wanted to do a review on this. I bought these 2 years ago. The reason that I'm doing a review right now is because a lot of you have been asking me to do reviews of technology that I use every day that's affordable. And this is one of those things that easily gets overlooked. It's deployed everywhere. I use it and see it every single day, but I never thought to do a review on it.
I'm like, nobody's interested in like a little $10 fan.
But I have a feeling that I am completely wrong about that, and that many people could benefit from the little experiments that I've done around my house. And I can tell you right now that I've had some of these fans running continuously without stopping for over a year. They don't wear out. They do tend to get a little bit dirty sometimes. I've had to stop them and dust them on occasion, but they don't make any noise. The bearing in them hasn't worn out after continuous use forever. So the quality on these things is actually fantastic. I completely stand behind these. They're not cheap crap. Now let me show you another one of my favorite uses. This right here is my Razer Blade Pro laptop. I absolutely love this thing. It's fast as hell. I'll be doing a review on it in the future. The keyboard takes a little bit getting used to, though. I'll warn you in advance, little spoiler for the review. But it is a powerful machine that I use for my mobile editing, and I'm also gonna be using it for my live streaming from the makerspace for 3D printing and all that stuff. Well, one thing is, when I go to LAN parties or I use laptops, I get sweaty hands. So I end up getting sweaty bung all over the trackpad. I get it all over the keys.
Fat people problems.
Well, the nice thing about these fans is I also keep them in my laptop bag. So all I do is plug this into the side here. I turn it and point it down, and you get an actual rather powerful breeze going over your hands, and it reaches all the way over to the trackpad. To be honest, I'm surprised that laptop manufacturers don't include a fan like this, because I've been to so many LAN parties where my hands are just getting really sweaty, and just having a little bit of breeze going over them because the room is so freaking hot at those damn things, it would be nice, and this does it. Also, most laptops have USB ports on either side, so you can just unplug it and move it to the other side. It's actually quite nice. Oh, and if you like that, get a second fan. Haha, SLI. This one's all dirty. This is actually the one off my monitors. So let me go ahead and turn that on. I'm gonna plug it in. Oh man, it's like a wind tunnel. It's actually quite a bit of air. I guarantee you it's more than you're thinking. Now fat people like me can search in comfort all day long. Oh, and if your wife needs to dry her nails and you don't want to get stuff stuck in the keyboard, just pop down the lid.
Good to go.
Now, it's really hard in a video for me to show you how much air this actually moves, but let me try. Here's a paper towel, okay? So slack paper towel, let me bring it down the airstream here. It's a pretty decent breeze. But if you really want to add cooling, you can just plug in as many as you've got USB ports. Oh, you can also use it for discharging the battery, although I have a feeling that this laptop is probably going to run that fan for about 2 years. However, I am kind of curious, how long would it run that fan? Could you guys do the math and put it down in the comments? If I had to guess, I'm going to say a month. Hey, Xander, what do you think of the fan?
It's cool.
It's cool, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if your hand gets sweaty shifting your car, there you go. plug it in. Most cars have a USB jack, or you can just put something in the cigarette lighter. Also be careful shifting forward. It will chop your fingers pretty good. You've been warned. Now remember that little battery pack that I used to run the fans? Now let's say you want a little bit more air. It's a hot day, you want to cool yourself, you're out on the go. Get yourself one of these bad boys. This is an Aki 30,000 mAh battery. This thing is freaking huge. It also supports the USB 3 fast charging stuff, but the best part is it has 2 USB ports. So now I can stick one in there, I can stick one in there, I can spread them out a little bit like that, kind of angle them in, and fire it up by pushing the button. Here we go. Okay, they're spinning up. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, that's nice. And dead silent. You guys can probably hear the wind on my lav mic, but you're not hearing the motors. They're quiet. They're so quiet. Because a lot of people are sensitive to noise. If these fans were like, nobody would want to use them. I don't know what would happen if you put these back to back. Let's see if we can create like a wind tunnel here. Ow. And yes, if you stop them without slowly decelerating,
They do hurt.
just fair warning, I've been bit by these things quite a few times. It's not super pleasant. All right, there we go. Let's see if that increases the speed at all. That's 2 of them in a row. Well, that's a noticeable change, but it's not as much air as when they were side by side. Experiment with everything, except your cat, or your dog, or your ferret. Goldfish is probably okay. So if you would like to get a hold of your own USB fans, the link is down in the video description. And by using that affiliate link, you actually help out the channel. And I can finally say that I reviewed something that is affordable and incredibly useful and something that I use absolutely every day. These things are an absolute must-have for most people. Unless you live in Alaska, then they're probably worthless. Also, if you guys are interested in the battery packs that I showed, I will also have those linked in the video description along with everything else that you've seen in this video.
Okay, maybe not everything.
Now, if you guys have a use case for these fans that I have not expressed in this video that you think might benefit me in some way, please leave it down in the comments. Or if you'd like, you can get a hold of me on Twitter @Barnacules, Instagram @Barnacules, everywhere @Barnacules. Well, almost everywhere. I also have like 750 videos on my channel that you guys could go and check out. If you enjoyed this one, chances are you may enjoy the other ones. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you get notifications when new content comes out, which is gonna be pretty frequently now. All right, I think that covers everything. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Seriously though, this feels good. This feels real good. So my fat brothers out there, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, and if you guys know how long a 30,000 mAh battery will drive those things, I'm curious about that too. Again, you know where the comments are.
Look at that.
What?
It gets gonna feel cool while you're washing your hands.
Yeah, don't you want to have a nice breeze while you're washing your hands?
Oh, yeah.
Don't get too close, it'll chop your head off.
That feels good.
Does that feel good? It'll keep you cool while you're pooping.